Hello, Mr. Douglas. My name is Norman Haas, also known as His Nibs, as my enclosed card will inform you. That's because my business is selling fountain pens, regular pens, etc. And I took that old British moniker to poke a little fun at myself and to also make a connection with the fountain pen nibs, obviously. Anyway, enough about me. The reason I wanted to make this little video was to explain the pen that I sent you, although it's probably a little obvious why, but to basically just thank you for all the many moments of joy and fascination and wonder that you've provided for me in my life through your films and more recently through your books. I just finished reading I Am Spartacus and was just enraptured with the entire tale. The movie had as a young American boy, the movie had a big influence on me as a kid. I remember seeing it with my father, and we saw a lot of your movies together, and they all had major impacts on me. Lust for Life was a terrific one. 7 Days in May. Many. I think you probably know which ones they are, and I won't go through all of them. But reading your book of Spartacus was beautifully written. It really took me back in time, and I wanted to do a little something for you in return. Hence the enclosed pen, which is made by Stipula. It's a company in Italy, and this is actually from my personal collection, and it's called the Gladiator. And if you have any questions about its use, you probably used fountain pens for many years yourself. But if you have any questions about its use, please feel free to contact me, email, telephone, whatever. But basically, as you've seen, this is the pen, which has a gladius as the clip, which you are, of course, very familiar with. On the cap top, it has a typical gladiator helmet. It has the netting and a representation of the shield. The net, of course, you fought against in that wonderful movie. And the cap band is pretty much the current state of the Colosseum. Again, I'm sure you're very familiar with using fountain pens, but basically you can either fill this with an ink cartridge, like so. It just sticks in. Or I've also included a ink converter, and this will allow you to fill the pen with bottled ink. You just stick the nib in the ink of the bottle of ink to above this section. Turn down the piston. Turn it back up, which creates a partial vacuum and sucks the ink into the converter. And while it's still submerged in the ink, you might want to do that one more time just to get any residual air out of the converter. Reattach the barrel, and you're ready to go. So I'm sending this as just a token of my appreciation for as I said, Spartacus and all the work that you've done and that I've enjoyed over the years. I remember you saying at some point, whether it was during an interview or a book, I don't recall, that John Wayne didn't want you to make the Lust for Life film because he thought you would be showing too much weakness in that film, and that you and he were the only tough guys left in Hollywood. Well, following your life these last, I guess, 20 years perhaps, since you had your stroke, and the recovery that you've made, which has been fantastic, and the fact that you still have such lust for life, and that you have maintained such a sharpness of mind and feeling, and are writing at your age and producing such wonderful works of art in your books as well, has meant a lot to me. And there's no question in my mind that Hollywood still has its tough guy, and you are it. And you're an inspiration to me, and I know to countless others. And I just wish you all the best. I look forward to your next book. Actually, I've just heard about it. I think it's a book of poetry, which I'm anxious to get. And it's been a pleasure to hopefully communicate with you and just share my appreciation. And with your medical condition and after the stroke, I don't know if you do much in the way of handwriting these days, or if you totally dictate your books and so forth. But maybe one time you can use your new Gladiator pen to sign a copy of your book for someone. Again, thank you very, very much. Take care.